Hey guys, how's it going? So if you watch that first clip, you'll notice I can one-shot a mirelurk queen, which is pretty insane. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the weapon I'm using, and also the perks I'm using that give me the ability to do this. So the weapon I'm using is called the Instigating 6-crank laser musket, and so this is basically just a laser musket where you can load 6 fusion cells in at once, and then fire off one blast that does 6 times normal damage. And then of course we have the Instigating perk, which many of you probably know, but I'll read it anyway. This weapon does double damage if the target is at full health. Now for the perks I have that contribute to this build, I of course have Rifleman at rank 5. This doubles the damage with non-automatic rifles and ignores 30% of the target's armor. And this is hugely important because obviously it doubles the damage, but also enemies like the mirelurk queen have a lot of armor, especially against energy damage, so this also helps with that. Now as you probably noticed in the clip, I was sneaking, and sneaking is a great way to do a ton of extra damage because you get sneak attacks. And with Ninja at rank 3, sneak attacks do 3.5 times normal damage. Now something else I did to greatly increase my damage is I used a critical, and I also have better criticals at rank 3. This gives me another 2.5 times multiplier, which is huge. Now those 3 perks are the main contributors to my damage, but also you can have Lone Wanderer, which increases your damage by 25%, as well as Bloody Mess, which increases it by 15% as well. So these two combined, Lone Wanderer and Bloody Mess, you can get an extra 40% damage with those. But just remember, at the bare minimum, you're going to want Rifleman, Ninja, and better criticals. So now that we got that out of the way, it's time to do some actual number crunching and show you guys how insanely powerful this build actually is. So as I told you before, the Instigating 6-crank laser musket has a base damage of 92 energy damage, and this is just if you crank it once. If you crank it once, it's going to do 92 damage. However, if you crank it 6 times and fill with 6 fusion cells, it's going to do 552 damage. So this 6-crank laser musket with 6 rounds loaded is already more powerful than my Gauss rifle. Moving on, we still have 552 damage. Now if we factor in the Instigating perk, that multiplies 552 by 2, which gives us 1,104 damage. And so now if you consider this, we're just using the Instigating 6-crank laser musket, fully loaded with 6 fusion cells, and we haven't even factored in Ninja or better criticals yet, and we're doing over 1,100 damage. Now if we factor in the Ninja perk, we're going to multiply 1,104 by 3.5, which is of course the standard multiplier when getting a sneak attack, and in doing this we get 3,864 damage. And just as a reference, this is enough damage to one-hit kill a level 60 Deathclaw or one-hit kill a level 70 Legendary Gunner. However, we're not quite done adding up the numbers yet. We still have to multiply 1,104 by 2.5 and add that to 3,864. So factoring in the better criticals perk, this comes out to be 6,624 damage. And this is actually 72 times the normal damage of one fusion cell loaded into a laser musket. Now if you watched my other video on the Instigator, you'll know I was hitting some pretty high numbers with that weapon, but this weapon is essentially the Instigator 2.0. So with one-shotting a mirelurk queen, I honestly don't know if there's an enemy that can't be one-shotted by this weapon. I would love to keep testing this weapon and see if it upholds its one-shot kill standard. So if you know of any really tough enemies, make sure you leave the enemy as well as the location of them down in the comment section below. But with all of that being said, this about wraps up the video, so hopefully you enjoyed. I would appreciate it a lot if you could take the time to like the video, as well as maybe share it around. I did put a lot of time and effort into making this video, so that would be greatly appreciated. Also, make sure to subscribe for more Fallout 4 content like this, as I have plenty more ideas for great videos. So once again, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.